I think this is as good a time as any to remind everyone exactly what Colin Kaepernick was kneeling for.
Headlines. The state of Louisiana will not charge 2 police officers in the shooting death of Alton Sterling, a father of 5. The shooting caught on video, as you'll remember, showing the officers on top of Sterling, one of them firing several times. The incident sparking nationwide protest.
Now to Northern California, where there is growing outrage over a fatal police shooting. Officers opening fire on an unarmed black man in his grandparents' backyard.
Now to a deadly encounter caught on camera. A new Snapchat video shows a man walking toward a Harris County Sheriff's deputy moments before he was fatally shot.
R.I.P. Alton Sterling, Stephon Clark, Danny Ray Thomas. You see, it's real issues that Colin was trying to bring a light to, and they blackballed him out the NFL for it. NFL teams will go to 24-hour fitness to watch Johnny Manziel throw the ball around, but Colin can't get a second call because he decided to protest police brutality. And if you keep score at home, the other dude who was kneeling with Colin, Eric Reed, he certainly can't get a call from an NFL team either. But somebody had to take up that cause, and that somebody has been Michael Bennett. And needless to say, he's become public enemy #1 for anybody who thinks that black folks need to shut up, just do their job, and not address societal issues. They are big mad because he wrote a book, and that book is entitled Things That Make White People Uncomfortable. I mean, for my money, it should have just been called Black Men, because nothing makes white people more uncomfortable than black men, especially confident ones. But either way, I think the book's title is just a provocative name to get a conversation started. However, a large section of the population is quick to point out how bad they have it in America, because if they wrote a book called Things That Make Black People Uncomfortable, they'd be labeled racist. And therefore, Michael Bennett must be a racist. But they can't be any further from the Michael Bennett that I'm familiar with. The Michael Bennett I know, he came to the middle school I used to teach at, a 79% lower socioeconomic school, and talked to them about staying in school and following their dreams. The Michael Bennett I know started a foundation that educates underserved kids and does free camps and health clinics all over the country and speaks on societal issues that are plaguing our country. Now, the Michael Bennett y'all see, and I'm going to let that line breathe for a second. Because if when I say y'all, you think I'm talking to you, then I probably am. But the Michael Bennett y'all see is this guy.
I wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't doing nothing, man. You ain't asked me a question. I was here with my friends. They told us to get out. Everybody ran. Did you ask me a question, sir? Okay, man. Put hands together.
Steve Grammis is president of the Las Vegas Police Protective Association. He wants an apology from Michael Bennett, and he's calling on the NFL to investigate the football player for, in his opinion, making false allegations.
It's crazy how people could live in the same country, have access to the same media, and come to such different views on similar topics. See, a bunch of people think this guy is a villain, and I honestly believe that he's in the crosshairs of the police. NFL players who protest are about to get treated like the FBI did civil rights leaders in the 60s. Or better yet, how the hip-hop police have been doing rappers for the last 20 years. Think about it. They treat Michael Bennett like he's Irv Gotti, like Kevin Gates or T.I. when he had those guns. They treat him like Tupac when he shot that off-duty police officer, and then they brought up them trumped-up charges in New York. And Michael Bennett just got traded to Philly. We all know about Philly. It wouldn't be that far-fetched to say they're treating him like they're treating Meek Mill. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole Houston incident that recently took place, but it feels like Vegas cops are in cahoots with the Houston Police Department all day.
I just want to say that Mr. Bennett may think that because he's an NFL player and because some time passed, because we have to prioritize our cases, he may have thought that, number one, rules don't apply to him. Number two, he doesn't have to respect the dignity of a paraplegic woman who's trying to earn a living, and another woman, a 66-year-old paraplegic woman, and another woman, that the treatment of Mr. Bennett of these women, especially that 66-year-old paraplegic, is not consistent with the rules of law in our city. A man that's supposed to be an example, a professional athlete, would think that it's okay to treat people like this. And I'm, again, grateful that the guy that decides to push a 66-year-old black female paraplegic little old woman that's trying to make a living.
Look, I got questions. I'm curious why y'all hired a 66-year-old paraplegic person to work security at the Super Bowl anyway. I'm curious why y'all waited until Michael Bennett was about to start his book tour to bring up these charges from 15 months ago. I'm curious why after the Super Bowl, all of the police resources were being used to find Tom Brady's missing jersey instead of bringing these charges on Michael Bennett then. I'm curious why Danny Ray Thomas could get murdered in the Houston streets this week by the police, and that's not what we're talking about. But I digress. The case looks weak as hell, and it looks like payback for the whole Vegas incident. But y'all shouldn't worry too much because Michael Bennett has Rusty Hardin on the case. If you're not familiar with that attorney, he's representing Scottie Pippen, Rudy T. He got us to think that Joel Osteen's wife didn't push that flight attendant, that Roger Clemens doesn't lie, and that Anna Nicole Smith shouldn't get any money at all. Michael Bennett should be okay. Matter of fact, he'll probably sell a few more books because of this whole incident. More I think about it, maybe I'm the one who should be quiet because as a Houston resident, I ain't got nothing nice to say about the way HPD is out here looking in these streets, especially when it comes to dealing with people who make them feel uncomfortable. So I won't say nothing.
I know they
at
say
all.
if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
If you can't say something nice, don't say nothing at all.
Nothing nice to say, but Aldo nice.